I have made over $200,000 betting on sports, and I'm going to show you my exact strategy. Don't expect me to give you the lock of the day or just spoon feed you plays, but I'm going to show you how a sharp bettor uses math and how you can too. I'm Franco, also known as Raid Prince. I'm a data-driven sports bettor, and my channel's all about positive value betting and how you can actually get advantage over the book. I'm not here to sell you some VIP or give you some false hope. You do gotta put in the work if you want to see profit yourself, and it is not easy. In this video, I'll show you how you can think like a sharp bettor and how I use positive EV betting to actually get an edge over the sports books. Also try to take a bet in real time and show you guys why I took it to help you understand positive EV betting a little bit more. Before we get into the strategy and I break down more about positive EV betting, I wanted to share you guys my betting history and my betting stats. This is also on a third-party tracking service called Picket, so I can't fake any of these stats, and I had to sign in and sync my sports books, and it automatically tracks every single bet I've ever placed. And I have over 30,000 bets tracked on this site as well, so I know this strategy works. I didn't just get lucky a couple months. I know I really have an edge in the long term. Even though we're betting with an edge though, I have red days as well, and I don't win every single day. You'll see sometimes I have a whole week where I lose money. I even had a whole month in July. But if you're following proper risk management, you'll be able to handle the losing days, and you just gotta bet through it and keep placing more bets. It only works if you actually have an edge though. If you're betting something that's minus EV, placing more bets won't help you see a profit, and you're gonna lose money. This might not be easy money, but if you're able to stay disciplined, have proper risk management, and stick to this strategy, your bankroll will grow over time and you will see profit. Almost compare positive EV betting to like the stock market. We know in investing you're going to have losing days as well, but if you're in something like the SPY or a ETF, you know in the long term they always go up, and you just have to have patience. EV betting is the same way. We know we have the edge in the long term, we just have to be able to handle the losing days. Sports betting is its own market in itself. Odds are constantly moving. Think of the odds like the price. As we get more information like injury news or weather reports, or sharp bettors betting something they think is value, the odds are constantly moving on the book. One of the other main differences between the stock market and sports betting is all the sites we use on the stock market have the same price. It doesn't matter if you're on Robinhood or Fidelity, it's going to cost the same to buy the stock. But sports betting, every single site you use, DraftKings, FanDuel, they might have different odds, and that's where the value comes from. There's hundreds of different leagues we can bet on as well, and there's just so much stuff for the sports books to price, and us as bettors can take advantage of this. A lot of the sports books here in the US aren't really focused on having sharp lines. They're really just focused on growth and being the #1 sports book and opening up in more states. But we can take advantage of this because they're offering hundreds of different leagues that they have no idea how to price, and they're also offering a lot of bonuses. So you should be signing up for every single sports book in your state and taking advantage of it. The books we're used to, FanDuel and DraftKings, they limit winners. If they find out you're profitable or have a good strategy, they limit you and kick you out. But the sharp books like Pinnacle and Circa, they realize why limit these bettors when we can use their information and move our line to be more sharp. So instead of limiting them, they have a set limit across the board for everybody, and they just move the line after someone bets it. The thing is, these sports books like FanDuel and DraftKings, they also realize Pinnacle's sharp, so they're going to copy their odds, but oftentimes at a minute or 2 minutes delay. So our whole strategy becomes being faster than FanDuel or DraftKings and using a tool called Pinnacle Odds Dropper to get the real-time move of Pinnacle. We're going to get alerted before FanDuel and DraftKings realize Pinnacle moved, and we quickly got to check FanDuel and try to find value before they realize. I'll try to break down a bet real quick in real time. So here we'll just use this Tennessee bet as an example. The line did lock. Oh, it's back now. Okay. So there is no value here, but I'll kind of explain to you guys what we're looking at. So most bettors, when they place a bet, they're going to try to use their own opinion, do research. We're not trying to do any of our own research or use our own opinion. We're focused on the price and the numbers. You don't have to have a math degree either though for this strategy. All we look at is this MVP price. This is known as the no vig price. This basically lets you know the price to beat. The vig is how much percentage line the vig is. So kind of like the sportsbook's cut here. There's a 5% vig on this line. But I can kind of break down more of that in a different video. Price as well as the price Pinnacle moved to, the Sharp Sportsbook. But really, we're focused on that MVP price because that takes out the vig of the line and lets you know the true odds a bet should be priced at. So what I'm constantly doing before I place a bet is comparing the MVP price to my books. So here, Pinnacle has the no vig price at minus 116 odds. This would be a little bit of value, but it's less than 1%. And really, I try to look at 2% or more when I'm taking it. So it's not enough for me to take. But I'm constantly comparing the odds when they move on Pinnacle to FanDuel and DraftKings and seeing if it's any value. Then just because your bet has an edge doesn't mean it's a guaranteed lock and gonna win. You gotta try to place thousands of these bets per year if you want to actually see profit and deal with the variance of betting. Good bets lose all the time and bad bets win all the time. But the better way to think of a bet is probability. We'll use this value bet I'm about to take as an example. So Pinnacle moved to minus 142. The fair price is minus 124. What does that actually mean though? Minus 124 odds means a bet has about a 55% chance of hitting. So the bet can still lose in the long term. It only wins about 55% of the time, according to the odds. But we're getting it at minus 115 odds. That means our sportsbooks only give this bet around a 53% chance of winning. 53.5, but you get the idea. But we know in the long term, our bet has a better chance of hitting than the implied odds, which makes it a value bet. So here I can bet 57, and this would be an example of a good play. Because you know the price to beat is minus 124, and I'm getting minus 115 odds. But it doesn't mean this bet is a lock. But in the long term, if you place enough of these bets, you will see a profit. Forget doing hours of research. Let the sharp sportsbooks and the sharp bettors do the work for us and just bet off the line movement. If you want to find these bets for yourself, I'll link the Pinnacle OddsShopper tool down in the description, and you can also check out my other videos where I break down how to set up your own settings for it so you can get value plays. I forgot to mention, but they also have a built-in calculator on Pinnacle OddsShopper that's going to let you know the exact EV of a bet. So that was around a 3.5% EV bet, and this also tells you the different methods you can use to devig a bet. I just use the power method, but I can make a future video breaking down what all the method means for you guys. Just to recap everything, stop thinking of the sports betting as you against the books or that it's rigged against you. The sports betting is a market, and it's a sharp one, but not as hard to beat as the financial markets. There's a lot more inefficiencies in the sports betting market compared to the stock market. And remember, all the sports books set their own odds, so you can find value on a different site that might not be value on FanDuel. Sign up for every single book in your state. Stop trying to pick winners and only betting on the sports you watch. If watching sports was the key to profiting, Vegas would be bankrupt. Start to use the market in a sharp sportsbook like Pinnacle instead, and only bet when the odds are actually in your favor. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but if you're able to stay disciplined, put in the work, and have proper risk management, you will see profit in the long term, and you just gotta stick with it. If you want to learn more about value betting, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a video once a week, and make sure you check out the link in the description if you want to use Pinnacle OddsShopper for yourself.